Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to our channel. Today, I wanted to take the opportunity to talk about pig farming in Africa and also to talk about some of the challenges that is killing the industry right now across the continent. And that has to do with sales. Sales, guys, sales. Value addition is one of the biggest challenge that the entire continent of Africa faces. So if you're someone watching and you have the desire to open an abattoir or any company that can add value to pork, I want to encourage you to consider investing anywhere that you feel comfortable in the continent because we certainly need these industries to drive our economy. And there is demand for pork, there is demand for hamburgers, there is demand for ribs, all kinds of sausages and all that, right? And all those industries, we have to import them. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video is to basically bring some things into light. The industry in Ghana, particularly, pig farming industry in Ghana is struggling. It is struggling because the high feed costs has become unimaginable. The last 3 years, we've had challenges where a lot of people have been given the permission to basically import full pork. For the longest time, we were only importing the pork feet. Now I go to the market and the gentleman at the junction who, grill pork now go to the freezer that was, and take a pork from there instead of buying the fresh pork that, we've known for the longest time in our country. And I can also imagine this competition also goes on in many part of Africa. So I want to put this out there for anybody who is interested in venturing into pig farming to consider value addition, because that is the part that we lack so much in this industry. And for some of us who are not adding value to our pork, we struggle to get market ready sales for our products. I want to bring this to light that, sometimes when you are drawing a business plan, a lot of people factor all the chances they could get in the local distribution and, scale that they can make connection with, certain big chain, grocery companies in their community or in the city. And it's not always the case. There's a lot of people in the industry who feel disappointed, and I wanted to give this perspective as well. Any business, any business, including pig farming, is comes with challenges, but you can defeat the challenge if you plan properly. Now, if you're someone who have like 10 pigs, 15 pigs, 20 pigs, and you have a local market that you go and sell, you may not really be struggling with this type of, challenges that I am discussing on this platform today. I am talking to the person who is venturing into this business with the mindset that they're going to be selling 500 to 1,000 to 2,000 pigs in a year, or perhaps even in quarterly or a month, or, you want to do your homework well, because we have a lot of inconsistency when it comes to value addition. And that also makes it very, very challenging when you are liquidating or when you are selling the pigs at a rate that you know that if by keeping them will cost you more, and therefore you want to be able to liquidate and be in the position to be able to continue to invest and not have to feed pigs when you don't need to feed them, and not have to struggle to get buyers when you need buyers urgently. Cost of feed in Ghana for livestock is constantly increasing. as far as I can remember, and that put a lot of pressure on farmers. Now, one thing I wish that our government will consider, on top of everything else that they continue to do to support farmers, is really make sure importation get reduced, especially when it comes to pork importation. Pork, if we bring in chicken, chicken has limitation in terms of when you get exposed to certain things like diseases. When it comes to frozen products, when pig get defrost, and refreeze, like how we logistically carry animals across the continent and the country. Most countries, most local farmers don't have freezers to basically, or local traders don't have freezers trucks to basically transport these uh, products. Chicken can deal with different things, but when it comes to pork, when so much diseases that pork carry or pigs carry can affect humans in a very severe way. So my recommendation is to really encourage our government to consider not importing pork into any country in this continent, because we already have our own challenges that we deal with. We have committed, hardworking farmers that can put in the work. We just need some support. This farm we have here is a 1,000 capacity farm. We're going through a lot of restructuring and planning, so we'll be able to stay on top of certain things. And that's why we have kind of reduced and restocking, uh, because we had to go with what we believe is sustainable. But this comes with all these challenges that I'm highlighting that we have taken notice of. And if you're someone who is venturing into pig farms, coming into the farming in a large scale, today the target is you, the large scale farmer. Do your homework well. Make sure you have a plan in place as how you're going to focus your liquidity on, how you're going to sell, how you're going to add value to your own product. If you can't, then just make sure you have a tested market that can help you sell the pigs. Because when those things are not in place, you can have yourself in a very difficult place as the farmer. Because in Ghana, as an example, we don't have systems. We don't have, big abattoirs that can support the liquidation if you want to get rid of the pigs and basically get your money as the farmer. We don't have such industries in place. And if you're someone like I mentioned who feel like you want to invest in these kind of chain, um, I really recommend that you consider Ghana, because there's a lot of opportunity here in Ghana to support, to be able to take advantage of, the available livestock in large scale that is not able to go into the ready market, to really boost the farmers' confidence in investing in their farm and possibly maximizing their ability into large scale farming. Now, what is happening is that you have people who comes to your farm. In I've seen that in Ghana, I've seen that in most countries across Africa, where the local buyers, they will come and they look at, some come to your farm and they don't want to use the scale in the farm. They just want to gauge it. They want to just look at the animal and say, I will give you, 100 safer, or I will give you 1,000 Ghana cedi, you know um, and they don't even want to put it on a scale. And it's very, very funny. I've seen a lot of people who venture into the farm. They call me that you didn't tell me this is how hard it was going to be for me to even to sell a pork, a pig. And I'm saying, okay, you just have to do the homework properly a little bit, because every demographic is different. And my neighborhood, my community, my city, my country may be different. We may have our own challenges. There are similar challenges though, but every community, every country has its own challenges, even though we share a common challenge, which is there are not industries to basically support the large scale pig farming because we don't have value addition in the chain of liquidity when it comes to disposable or disposing the farm products into the market. I want to encourage you if you're one of those people that people come to your farm and they say, "Hey, I am a local buyer. I don't use scale. I will give you this." Try to avoid those people, okay? Because the feed we put it on scale. The feed we give to the animals is put on scale. We scale every single thing. We weigh the animal and we multiply that by the amount of money that is, eligible depending on where you are watching me from. And I want you to go with that because if you don't, what becomes the problem is that people will take you for granted, and you will not be able to survive your farm in the near future because you can plan when people are guessing prices in your farm. You can't, right? You have to have a pen and paper in place, count, calculate, assess, reevaluate every stage and processes that you go through at the farm, understand the market concept that are in play. If people are in the idea that they don't want to use scale and that is what is acceptable, sit down and analyze how you are going to be different and still be able to sustainably carry on your farm, right? And sometimes the best way to approach it is just plan in the idea that you add value to your products, and then you'll go to the market, and then you'll be in a position to preserve them longer, and then wait for a proper timing to distribute them. If by having a freezer or some way, smoking them, whatever way that your community see or deem fit, that can add value for you to make the best money possible for your business. Well, I do want to extend a strong appreciation to every one of you watching. And I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel for more knowledge and wisdom. If you have any question that you would like me to share so that can inspire you in your own commitment at your farm, I want to encourage you to do that. I also want to encourage you to basically keep working hard and keep dreaming and keep supporting each other. If you have knowledge that you can share, please share because together we can make Africa great again. Together we can put food on the table of every child in our continent. Together we can make Africa more sustainable by focusing on farming and focusing more on livestock farming. Until we meet again, take care of yourself. Thank you for watching.